said, Mom, I'm gonna go out. It's a weeknight, it's a school night. I'll be back in an hour and a half. The waitress came by 3 times and we never ordered.
On my way home, I called 2 of my friends. I was like, I could love this girl. It was incredible. I mean, going into the day, I totally thought she was out of my league.
We just talked and ordered, and then finally talked, and we were almost closing the place down. And then we get up to leave and we head out, and I realized 4 hours had passed.
The night before our date, I sent her a text message saying, I don't know if this came up, but I walk with a cane from a disability I was born with. Knowing that it didn't come up, but wanting to tell her so it wasn't a surprise when we got there.
And I'm like, what do I say back to that? Because I don't want him to think it's a big deal, because it's not. But in text message, you can't get emotion through the right way. And so it's really hard to figure out, what are you gonna say back? So I go running into my mother's room and go, Mom, look at this, is that okay? And she goes, yeah, go ahead, you can send it. And I'm all nervous, and I send back a text message that reads,
I don't know if I told you this, but I'm allergic to apples, tree nuts, pineapple, walnuts. And at that point I was like, this is incredible. Like, you couldn't expect a better answer. You couldn't even imagine a better answer. And so I wrote back to her, I guess we all have something. One of our first dates, we decided, like, we were probably about 3 or 4 months in, we decided that we would come down to Long Beach Island. Our house was just being opened. It was probably April.
Scott told me, we'll go to my parents' house, we'll go out for dinner, we'll have a good time, but just so you know, there's power, but we have no TV, we have minimal heat. We'll be fine though.
It was really home for me, another home for me. It was a second place where I always spent my summers, and I had my first jobs, and I wanted to show Kim.
I had been here as a kid a few times, but that was really it. I had never been in the winter because it's a beach. Why would I come here in the winter?
And so we just had music on and just talked. We just talked the whole night.
So we came with blankets ready. So we plug in the radio and we spend time finding a station that works, and then found a station that was coming in clear and just sat and talked for the entire night.
We talk about it sometimes as we know that was the night that we really knew, like, we were in love.
I like to say it's one of those moments where I knew, that this was it. We could sit there and spend 6 hours just talking with only music in the background, no TV. We weren't even on our phones, no computer, just no interaction from anything else. And I was just happy to be sitting there and talking with him and spending time with him.
For me, living with a disability and walking with canes, it was always something that I thought people associated me with. She felt that she was, the girl with allergies. And when it's just so much more for both of us, to have that conversation and to have her think that way and not be judgmental, it just made it work.
I'm not quite sure it ever really registered with me. It was just one of those things that, that's just a part of him, and that's who he is. And, one of the things he said to me on our first date, which was really funny, he said, I'll race you to the car.
June 15th, 2013. The day that we got engaged, but it was way before that the planning was happening for that. Her family had accepted me as one of their own, and my family did the same. I think they knew it was coming, and her dad opened the door, and we went and sat down, and we talked for a little bit. And, you know, they definitely knew it was coming at that point. And I said, you know, really, basically, the past year and a half has been the best year and a half of my life. I've never been happier, and Kim makes me the happiest person, and I'm here to ask for your permission to marry your daughter. I wanted to do it in Long Beach Island. It's just a beautiful place. It's a place that we had a lot of memories, and so decided that we would do it down here.
We came straight to LBI and we went straight to the beach, which we had never done before, but I'm clueless. I have no clue what's going on anyway, so we just went straight to the beach, and I thought, oh, we're going straight to the beach.
We went straight from Manasquan to the beach here in Long Beach Island. Went straight to the beach. We didn't come home. We didn't change because the house where we're going to get engaged, my grandparents' house, was already fully decorated in the backyard.
We were just hanging out, and we were supposed to go to dinner that night with Scott's brother, Jeff, and one of my best friends, Nicole.
My brother and his girlfriend at the time canceled dinner on us, which I knew was going to happen, but Kim had no idea.
I took that a little hard. We had plans for 2 weeks, and I got very angry at them.
I was able to talk her into still going.
And I'm still a little cranky. And with a little help from Scott's mom, Elaine tells Scott, you know, you guys should really go. And so, you know, I think that was the little push that I needed to say, all right, fine, we'll go.
Dinner service took about an hour, 50 minutes to an hour, and I was freaking out. It was too quick.
We have a really good dinner. And after dinner, Scott goes, you know, there's supposed to be fireworks tonight, but not for a little while.
I said, I'm going to figure out if I can get her to go down to the lighthouse and just watch the boats go by and just sit outside and have a nice evening.
You know, it was a really nice night. The sun was sitting right above the water. We get to the lighthouse, and it's just, there's boats going back and forth, and the sun is sitting right above the water, so everything's sparkling. And we grab a bench, and we just sit there, the two of us. And I think to myself, this is just the most perfect night.
At this point, I'm really nervous.
I have my head on his shoulder, and we're just sitting there, and that's all I can think about.
We eventually get back in the car, and we start heading back towards my grandparents' house. And she's talking and just having the great time, and I'm not talking. I'm freaking out. We're like laughing and reading street signs is about all I can get out. Is just I can read a street sign, so that was good.
He's very quiet. I don't pick up on it. I'm talking right and left. Look at this street name, and I'm making jokes, and we're going back and forth on the street names. And he's in his head, he's going, keep talking, keep talking, keep talking.
So we come around the corner, and Kim sees 2 pots of flowers sitting there.
All of a sudden, I look to the side and I go, do you know your grandparents have flowers back here?
I guess I said yes. I mean, I made it like an obvious yeah or something like that, but I have no idea, no recollection. I was so nervous at this point. We're walking around the corner, and then she sees the flowers down the entire dock. And
I keep walking, and I turn the corner, and then it hits me. Got a little nervous there, and you know, kept walking towards him, but slower now, and starting to get a little emotional, you know, feeling the tears in my eyes already.
At this point, she knows what's happening. She knows what's about to happen. I told her that, you know, this past year and a half has been just this incredible year.
He just turns to me and he says incredible things that, you know, just about how he couldn't have said anything more perfect.
She didn't actually say yes until I was like, so is that a yes?
Like, of course it is. And then I'm crying more, you know, hugs and kisses. The sun at this point is setting.
I was like, maybe you should call your parents. And her parents are supposed to be in Atlantic City.
I call her and I go, Mom. She goes, I'm at a concert. She's whispering. I'm like, Mom, I'm at a concert. I'll call you back.
And it was really this elaborate setup, and they were hiding on the floor in the kitchen.
So in my head, I'm going, she has to know. So finally, I just say to her, I think this is a little more important. And I hear the door open behind me, and all I hear is, yes, it is.
venue that we picked, Westbound Country Club, I was like, let's check it out. For me, it was, I had heard stories that both Kim's parents had worked there. Eileen was a camp counselor and Joel was a cabana boy. And I was like, it's a cool story. They never met each other there. They didn't know each other. Let's go check it out.
And I think walking in, Scott and I looked at each other and our jaws just dropped. It was one of those moments where you just knew, it just felt right. It was beautiful. The room is beautiful. The views are beautiful. Outside where you get married is beautiful.
Really exciting. It's something that I cannot wait. I cannot wait to be married, and I can't wait for our wedding. I cannot imagine loving anything or anybody more than how much I love you right now. And I know that in our future, every day, I'm going to love you more than I do right now.
I am so lucky to have found you. I mean, you're my best friend. You are my perfect match.
I love you more than yesterday, and I cannot even imagine loving somebody more than I do right now. You're sweet, you're funny, you're beautiful, you're kind, you're generous, honest. I mean, I could go on forever. I
just know that with you, I will always be taken care of, and I will always, be happy.
I cannot wait to spend the rest of my life with you. I love you.
I couldn't think of anyone else that I'd want to have that with. I love you.